A real bitch circles back on a problematic statement from their parents.
Timothée Chalamet raising his voice in Dune 2. I said, how dare you?
Sorry, sue me. What are you gonna do?
This is X, not a classroom sweetheart.
Baby of the family, you are an only child.
What if this is just a movie of men gossiping, running around, telling each other secrets?
There will always be some creature from Barb Twitter that's better at Twitter than you.
Twinks should never laugh.
First of all, you're telling me about genocide. You don't even know Rome was like a conquering nation. Okay, do you ever see a tweet and it's like, oh, like I laughed in a spiritual, like biblical way. Like I had tears running down my eyes when I saw this tweet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you get that all the time when you read my tweets.
I knew you were gonna say that.
No, you walked.
I'm gonna let you have it today.
You walked right into it. Okay,
Yeah.
I need to show this to you. Okay, so Jack Schlossberg, who you're pro, and I am ambivalent.
For now.
Yeah, whatever. He was tweeting something like, quote, NYC is not lost, but it is not yet found. Let me explain. Nothing opens early, blah, blah, blah. And someone quote tweeted him and said, guy whose family is canonically from Boston has opinions about New York City. And I was like, oh, like hee hee ha ha. Then Jack responds and says, both of my parents are New Yorkers. Ever been to Grand Central or the airport or the reservoir? I grew up here. See you later, Jonah. And my little ass, not from New York, Googled Kennedy Reservoir, Kennedy Airport,
Yeah, of course
Kennedy,
you
Grand
have so
Central.
much time. You have more hours in the day than most people.
No, I fell over. I was laughing so hard. He said, I'm sorry, where do you fly out of?
Yeah. Sorry, what's the name of that airport?
What's the train station you go to? Oh, Grand Central. Right.
Right.
My grandmother built Grand Central.
That's
she
how I
rescued
would
it.
be.
Like, no, I'm sorry. I need Nepo babies to be more like that and
Correct.
less like Gracie Abrams. But speaking of Nepo
Not too
babies,
much.
actually, we saw your father.
And again, not too much. For those listening in, and if you want to hear more about my relationship with my dad, please tune into the Tell Me About Your Father podcast. I just did a long-winded interview there about him, but
oh my gosh. Did he like call phone in?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
No,
my gosh.
it was more therapy than it was like an interview. But anyway, I did take Hunter to my dad is a stand-up comedian. He does a lot of warm-up for TV shows. He's doing one right now for Tracy Morgan's new show, Crutch, Paramount Plus. Look at that plug. Paramount Plus, cough up the cash if you need. And when I tell you Hunter walked into that studio, I've never seen her so happy to see someone. Like she doesn't smile like that to me. And she lit up the room to be like, Louise!
No, I did.
Ran over in her little trench coat buttoned all the way to the top. It was crazy.
I was so excited. I was so happy, even though you gave me the wrong directions. And so I went a full extra block
so petty.
in the rain.
Let it go.
No, I won't actually. I won't. But I was giddy. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like the magic of television. I'm seeing live comedy. Like I'm with everyone I love. Like, your dad is so good at crowd work. Oh my gosh. He was giving that little 14-year-old boy, he was telling him about himself. He said, you know the lyrics to Kendrick Lamar? What? No, I loved it.
No, Hunter was having too good of a time. Like I've never seen you enjoy life so much than around my father.
I was giggling and cackling.
My troubled, problematic, doing his best father.
What did he say that was problematic?
Okay, well, I will say to his point, there was someone in the front that had like sunglasses on and that were pretty thick and dark, and then a stick, like a walking stick. And my dad was like, I think this guy is faking blind. And is announcing it I'm like, Dad, you can't accuse people of faking blind. So he was faking blind, by the way.
No, he totally was. Because your dad was like, oh, here, if you're blind, then take this. And the guy took it out of his hand and he said, oh, so I guess you're not blind right now then. No, it was all in good fun. It was very fun.
Except it was almost diabolical when he called, a man wanted to sing, and that's always a red flag, but a man specifically with a tattooed
hairline.
Yeah, his whole head was tattooed, and he sang an original, and my dad started making fun of him and his tattooed head, and I was like, we're in Queens, nigga. You might be from Philly, but you gotta be careful. Because he was bucking up to my father.
Wait, I love that. I have to give a shout out though to him checking that white woman.
Oh.
So this is the situation.
Yeah.
There's a white woman who is like coming like late to sit in this big crowd. And your dad was like, oh, like, okay, where are you going? And then the like stage manager was like, oh, everyone in this room needs to get up and move over one seat so that she can sit on the end.
Yeah.
Because there's like an empty seat, like kind of not in the middle, but like a little bit toward the middle. And your dad was like, oh, white privilege. And the stage manager kind of like barked back.
Yeah.
She was like, it's not white privilege. It's production privilege.
Just like, it was actually like comedic gold for her to say that.
Crazy.
Because everyone was like, oh, now we legally have to side with him because that's insane.
It was even the white woman who was like being shifted, all this stuff was like happening for her benefit was like, oh, I'm not touching that.
Yeah.
No. Oh, it was amazing. Anyway, I love your dad's comedy.
Mhm.
And he said that I'm very funny.
He did.
I think the apple is
rotten right to the core.
but it falls close to the tree though.
It's rotten, but it also falls close to the tree. and that's tea.
Okay, what are we talking about today? We are talking about Gladiator 2. Dare I say, Denzel and Paul.
My man.
And Thanksgiving traditions, Thanksgiving TV shows, Thanksgiving everything, my favorite holiday. We'll talk about it later.
Careful.
And we are joined by the writer JP Brammer to talk about his really incredible essay about quitting Twitter. Wish I could do that. And I refuse to call it X.
Don't forget that we have a bonus segment that drops every Thursday only on Wondery Plus. This week, we're talking about the Coachella 2025 lineup. So subscribe to Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts to check that out.
So, let me say this.
Are
you looking for a home for your worst opinions?
Are you a hater first, but a lover of pop culture second? Consider this a glorified group chat, but we're not calling you out. No, we're calling you in. It's a safe space
to talk shit.
But, of course, from Wondery, I'm Peyton Dix.
And I'm Hunter Harris.
And this is Let Me Say This.
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 So we did our civic duty this weekend, and we saw Gladiator 2, starring Pedro Pascal, Paul Mescal, and, say it with me,
Denzel Washington. I'm like already smiling so big.
I know, I feel shy. I feel like he's watching.
No.
He's not.
He's not watching.
He's busy.
But he could be. No. Okay, what did you think?
I didn't like it as much as Gladiator 1, which I surprisingly liked. I had only watched it because we had talked about the trailer I would have never been called to press play on that. But I honestly was a little bit underwhelmed by the movie as a whole.
Of Gladiator 2.
And I'll get into why in a moment. But I was kicking my feet, giggling, blushing every time Denzel was on screen.
Oh, totally.
So many good line deliveries. So many good. I think, Paul impressed me as well, but I didn't feel myself sold on his performance in the way that I maybe thought that I would. I think I just, maybe I'm too tethered to him in like an indie sad boy way that like seeing him like this didn't feel, and knowing Russell Crowe's performance and loving it so much, I didn't feel like I was sold.
Okay. Why don't you give us a rundown of like bare bones plot? Because I can't really remember. I saw it a while ago.
Yeah, okay. So Paul Mescal plays, what is his name?
Who knows? Whatever.
That's not even the point.
Thick thighs.
Yeah, big thighs. Low waist on a lot of his togas, and I didn't love that. But he is, we find out, the son of Maximus, who is Russell Crowe, his love child, with the princess lady, who's now married to Pedro Pascal's character, who's basically like Rome's hero. Like he's won all these wars for them, for the two evil twins that run Rome right now. Like Rome is giving colonizer boots. Colonizer down. They're like, who else should we take? Persia? I don't know. It's a Tuesday.
Did you take world history?
Like,
you
I actually didn't do well
by that.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, Rome was kind of like doing bad things. Hunter's like, well, yes. So then Paul he gets conquered. He becomes kind of a slave turned gladiator, classic same setup as the original movie. And wants vengeance on Pedro Pascal, who was the one who conquered his Charlie's Africa, conquered his African village home.
And then Denzel buys him as his slave,
Yeah.
like makes him a gladiator and is like, oh, you'll like fight for me and kind of perform as like, I'll be your sponsor.
And I'll give you whoever you want. Like whoever you want to kill, I'll let you kill him.
Yeah.
And he followed through on that promise until, of course, Paul, spoiler. Oh, we should have done spoiler earlier. But you know what? Pause here and then fast forward a little bit if you haven't seen it. But then he has a moment to basically kill Pedro Pascal. But this is after him realizing, like, he's his stepfather, I guess.
And that
he's a father that stepped
they kind
up.
of like go out. They kind of like go off together. They like go together hard. Okay, this is my thing. People were really like critical of all of like the Gladiator setups, like fights this movie, like the sharks, and the like crazy
monkeys?
baboons.
Yeah.
Yes. And sorry, I loved it. Loved every minute.
You
I was
love
like,
the sharks in the
like
Coliseum?
like crazy up and down, and yet no, couldn't take my eyes away. I was like, this is fun to watch. Excuse me.
I thought the sharks were completely unnecessary. It was a little too, we went too far CGI for me. I think we could have reeled it in a little bit more.
Okay, that I can respect. But I have no real connection to the original Gladiator, other than just swiping past boys who say are not entertained on their dating apps. Yeah, I have. I've seen it, girl. I saw it once, and then I forgot that I had seen it until I was halfway through, and I was like, oh, I've seen this before.
Wait, this is familiar. Well, question: were you entertained?
I was by Gladiator 2?
Yeah,
yes, of course. Because I think Gladiator 1 it's like a real hero's journey, which, respect that, whatever. But Gladiator 2 feels a lot closer to like the more recent Ridley Scott work, like The Last Duel, where it's like, what if this is just a movie of men gossiping, running around, telling each other secrets, like getting mad at one another? Like, I like that.
Okay, heard. But I think that we lingered too much. Two things that were big for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think we had too much fighting in a way, and I love when boys brawl. Like, I think that's great. But something that really upset me, and I love in a movie like this, is building relationship dynamics between like other gladiators. Like, I wanted more development of like internal relationships between, because there's nothing more satisfying in a fight scene where you think, oh no, he's gonna lose, and then someone comes in and
like
saves
his friend, and it's like, oh, they finally made up, like they finally see each other.
Yeah.
It's like Ramona and like Luann. Totally. No, I see what you're saying. But okay, it's funny because but it's very similar to what you're saying. I was like writing on my little notebook. All of these extras kind of look like people that like, I was like, oh, that's totally Steven from Love is Blind in the background of that scene. Like, oh, totally. That is like, I don't know, one of those boys from what was that bad show that we watched?
There's so many.
No, the Netflix one.
Many.
The love story.
We're never gonna get a
sponsor based on the book.
12 days or something like that.
Yes. It was something days. 12 years?
82 days.
Whatever it was too many.
12 years a slave, I'll tell you that. That's what it felt like watching it.
I was like, oh, that boy who's like also in the White Lotus. Like, he's in the background of one of these scenes. Like, all these people kind of felt familiar to me. But I was surprised there wasn't more like character building.
Yeah, I wanted more of that.
But I think, I don't know, it's like all of like the kind of like clumsiness, hokiness that like there's barely a plot. It's like, it feels like so
No
like
plot.
ripped from the headlines. It's like when that one shot when they're like, oh, this is like a bust of like the like deceased king or whatever, like the deceased emperor, and you look at it, it's like just purely Paul Mescal's face. No, I was
Comedy Kings.
I was cackling. But Denzel though, I mean, he is like,
let's get to it.
Every other part of this movie is like fine, but he is like spectacular.
Yeah. When I tell you, my first reaction after watching Gladiator 2 was like, Denzel put on that dress. He put on those rings and he went fucking crazy.
No, it was like too over the top for me at some points. I was like, oh my God. This is like that one scene in Heat when Al Pacino was like, oh, she's got a big ass. It's like, that's like every scene in this movie was like Denzel doing like his version of that, which was very like, I don't know, it like fit the setting, but it was also like so outrageous. Sometimes I was like, wait, I'm just watching someone having fun. Like,
I'm
amazing.
Like, no, literally, like it's like that one movie that Robert Pattinson did where he just never practiced the accent and just came on set the very first day of filming and did whatever.
Was that The Lighthouse?
No, it's like the church one with the Spider-Man boy. But it's very, he just makes up an accent. It's not Southern at all. Delusions, you know that one? Anyway, I feel like Denzel like truly was like, I'm gonna just do whatever and you're gonna lean with it, rock with it.
He said, turn the camera on, put it right here, and I'll meet you there.
We have to talk about, there's so many line deliveries I want to talk about, but this one I want us to start with because it relates to something that I think we were robbed of. When he said, they were like, yeah, the lore is her husband didn't like women. And he responds, nor me some days, or something like that, insinuating that he was a bi king. And then we found out that we were robbed of a gay kiss between Denzel and, do you know who the other person was supposed to be?
I don't know, but I would imagine it's like he's kissing someone, like kind of like in like a Lothario way. Like I don't think it would be anyone in the cast.
Oh, wow. I just needed something a little bit, because this was his fruitiest role. Yeah, this is Denzel's gayest work yet. I gotta stop. Someone's gonna get mad at me one day. But you know what I mean? Those wrists were working overtime. With those, when he was beating Paul Mescal's ass with the robe still on, he was in a full dress, beat down,
I was
earrings
like,
in.
wait, we
stabbing
have
him.
to talk about the gowns, the robes, the earrings,
Beautiful gowns,
the
beautiful
rings,
gowns.
all of it. I was like, oh, wait, hold on. Like, his budget was something else. That was like a separate line item. So it's just like his accessories. I was loving it.
Yeah.
But okay, line rings that I loved. I loved that one. I can't remember at what part of this movie this happens, but I think it's when Paul Mescal is like saying something like kind of like he doesn't really work for me as like super brooding,
Yeah.
you know? Like I fully believe that he was like, if this movie had not happened, this character would have just been like on his merry way, like living his best life, like he didn't want to
Yeah.
be in like the Coliseum,
Yeah.
in the Gladiator thing, whatever.
Yeah.
So that part did work for me in his performance. But he does something like too over the top, and Denzel says, too much.
And part of me was
Loved
like,
it.
was that improv? Like,
Loved it.
Yeah.
Couldn't get enough of it. Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. And then whenever he is like, there's like this whole like runner of him like betting with that one guy.
Yes, yeah.
And he, loses the bet, and then Denzel wins the bet, and he's like, I own your house. He's like, get to packing.
Yeah, get the fuck up out of here. Yeah, I don't know where you gotta go, but you gotta get the fuck up out of here. And he says it like that with that tone of a black dad. I was like, oh.
I loved it.
Yeah. Just go see Gladiator 2 just for Denzel's performance alone.
But we have to talk about the
Fantastic.
white boys.
Oh, I mean, I'm always down. Sorry, sue me. What are you gonna do?
Charges have been filed.
Yeah.
Lawsuit has been filed. Okay. So here's the thing about Paul Mescal. I didn't hate him in this, but I thought he was like perfectly effective. It didn't wow me, but it wasn't like, as bad as I think some people are saying it was.
Yeah.
What I will say is that when I saw that Ridley Scott was like, I was gonna like go after Timmy for this. Timmy Chalamet. Mm-hmm. But then he's like, but then I saw Normal People, and I thought, just kidding, like whatever. Now, did you see Dune 2?
Yeah, of course.
Timothy Chalamet raising his voice in Dune 2. I said, how dare you? Playtime is over. Have a seat. No.
Twinks should never laugh.
Was that Nikki? Was that a Nikki
Yeah,
thing?
but I changed it to twinks instead of poor people.
I don't want to hear Timothy Chalamet raising his voice to me in this life or the next.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's his like best register of performance. So Paul did work. He was just so strong. I was like, okay.
Yeah, the body was tea.
Yes, the body.
Paul was
the body
giving
was bodying. Now, he does not skip the protein.
Shit, and we should learn.
I know.
But I will say his eyes were distracting to me. There's this one shot where I was like, okay, enough. Where we catch him in the light, and it's very blue eye Hannah Montana meme of like, very staring down the barrel of the camera. It was really scary, and I was like, okay, can we cut away from this? Like, it was too intense. But I agree with you. I thought it was good. I didn't feel blown away by his performance, and I was excited to see him in a new role outside of what he maybe normally does. I don't know if he's never done action, right?
No, I went to a Q&A after I saw the movie. I had a screening, which I did see there. Celebrity, Todd from Real Housewives, Candy Burris' husband. I don't know what his last name is. Todd Burris? Anyway, Paul had said that this was like, he'd only done one stunt before in his entire career before Gladiator 2.
And what was it, crying on Normal People?
I don't know. He didn't say. But I was like, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good for him.
I did really like, what do you think about the two kings? I didn't realize one of them was dating Doja Cat.
Yep. Well, I don't know if they're still dating, but they were like all these photos of them with doing what? A complicated handhold. And if true, let me say this, heads, remember what that means.
Hey, give me your finger so I can hold it the way Ariana holds something else.
Let go. Hated that whole experience. But yeah, they are or were dating, and watching this movie made me be like, oh, that's why that little freak Doja Cat is with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought their performances were fine. I think it's really hard to like, I don't want to compare the movies too much, but Joaquin Phoenix is so fucking good in the original Gladiator as a very similar character trope. So it feels really hard to like know that performance and follow it up with these two twins, even though I had like a lot of fun with them. And like the younger one who's also in White Lotus.
Yeah. Fred
I think I was more taken with him than I was, what's his name? Joseph Quinn.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I think the White Lotus boy was better.
But
I think he had more to do. He had more to work with in the, like his character was better too.
Was there a white boy that was taking it for you in the film? Because I have an answer and it's none of those.
Oh, well, Petra Pascal I really liked.
It's not
I thought-
white.
Oh,
It's white passing sometimes, I guess, in the
Oh,
right lighting. But
okay.
in the winter. But he's definitely Latinx.
Oh, sorry. I thought-
Ooh, erasing people left and right. Oh my God, nasty. Not me.
I take it back. Put your fist down. Okay, what white boy was doing it for
Okay,
you?
the
Since
white
I know you have
boy-
an answer.
The white boy that was doing it for me was the master of ceremonies played by Matt Lucas, the music guy.
The guy from Bridesmaids.
Well, I mean, I'm not talking about his role in Bridesmaids. He was fun in this. When he was like, woo, okay, shut it. I love a cunty little, assumingly gay.
I didn't like any of that. That felt like it was right out of Harry Potter. Like Harry Potter loves to do little things like that, like a little I don't know.
Oh,
No.
and now I'm the turf.
He's no Effie from Hunger Games.
I know you're not about to talk about my sister Effie on
I
this
am
podcast.
talking about her. He's no her. He'll never be her.
Oh,
she has her career. You don't. Naomi.
We have lost the plot so deeply. Oh my God. But Gladiator 2 didn't just come out, of course. Wicked came out as well. And the numbers are, drumroll, exactly what we thought.
Yeah.
So
Who would have thought it would be different?
I don't know. I mean, people thought it would be more of like a Barbenheimer moment.
Because let me tell you this. Gladiator 2 was not bringing their best. They just were not. Like the Paul Mescal talking to Paul Mescal pics. I was like, ugh, who cares about this stuff?
Don't do that.
It was just, I mean, and no disrespect to that woman, I wish her the best, but it just was awkward to watch and like not fun at all. And I think truly Denzel and Ridley Scott are so like naturally funny and charismatic. I would have rather seen them just talking back and forth for weeks on end than any of this other kind of stuff that they were trying to do to sell this movie.
Yeah, I agree. Which wasn't even that much.
Wasn't doing anything for me. When you have Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande giving performances of their lives.
Working overtime.
Like
working when no one's even asking them to.
Like doing like complicated handholds. Hello. I mean, invented the form.
And what was the most recent interview with Out.com?
Yes, they're holding space for defying gravity and taking power in that. I don't know if you saw.
And I'm working in queer media, so we're kind of doing that right now.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like Gladiator had no shot against these two people.
Yeah.
Like,
But, good
but
film.
I still like it. I still liked it.
No Barbenheimer, though.
For better or for worse, I'm still on Twitter.
Yeah.
For worse, I'd say. There's not really a version of it that's better. But I did read an amazing essay last week by our friend, the writer JP Brammer, about his decision to leave X, which is what used to be Twitter, what is now like a cesspool of honestly just like gross reply guys. But we have JP here with us. John Paul Brammer is a columnist, author, illustrator, and content creator based in Brooklyn. He writes the queer advice column Ola Poppy on Substack, and he is the author of Ola Poppy, How to Come Out in a Walmart Parking Lot and Other Life Lessons. And also, we're both from Oklahoma.
That's right.
Welcome,
That's
JP.
right.
No, I know that's right. Oklahoma heads. Oh my God. Okay, I hated that. Oklahos. Love that. Okay, quick question for you.
Of course.
Are you a lover or a hater?
Ooh, I'm a lover. And you wouldn't know it.
Full stop?
You wouldn't know it by reading that essay that we're discussing. But like deep down at my core, yes, I'm a lover.
So you kind of answered my second question, which is, are you a lover or a hater of Twitter?
Ooh,
Twitter as it was, not X.
Yeah.
Okay, so Twitter as it was, it's complicated. Like I loved it like the way that a smoker would love cigarettes. You know, like yes, technically, it brought me a lot of pleasant experiences, but also negative ones, and I was hooked on it. And like for many, many years, it's just like what my day looked like, which is crazy to think about now.
You sound so healed. You're like on the others. Like you're what my therapist like wants me to be. You sound so like
you talked to Glennon Doyle.
Yes. Well, here at Blue Sky, we are holding space. We are healing trauma. We are doing sharing circles.
Say it.
It's nothing but positive affirmation.
That sounds like Threads, but yeah, okay. Keep it going.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But I loved your essay called X Out, and it's on your Substack, and it's I think it captures so well like the kind of like why I'm leaving New York essay-ish, but it's first of all good, and second of all, you can hold like an equal weight how much you liked using Twitter and how important it was to your career, but also how X, I think you wrote you've been successfully annoyed off, like irritated off the app. Like there's no high-minded, like, because of Elon, because of Trump. It's just truly because like the user experience is so bad and it's like not fun anymore. And I loved that.
Yeah, I really thought that the best way to see off Twitter was with something just salty and ad hominem. Like, I just didn't want to leave being like, I am making the high-minded decision because it's best for our democracy and I don't want to give Trump and Elon the satisfaction. It's like, no, I want to make some insults against the world's richest man. Like that whole essay was built around the fact that last year I wrote like 3 jokes in a Google document about Elon that I thought were really good.
Yeah.
And I've just been sitting on them, marinating, as a lover would do, marinating on my insults for like a year, just waiting to just put them into something spiteful, but also like something that could spread.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to just like tweet them out. I was like, these are good. I'm going to save them for later. And I lovingly incorporated them into this essay.
Which I feel like I can think of at least 2, but which 3 jokes were they that you worked into the essay?
Yeah, so the main one was that X, because it is in algebra, it's like something that can hold no value of its own. It can sort of reference value, but it itself is sort of worthless.
Yeah.
And I think I said in this respects, X, the website, is sort of like Elon's son, because he also holds no value. But if it was his son, he would spend less time with it.
Yeah.
Which I was like,
his son AEYOU or whatever the name is.
And the fact that like it escaped me at the time that he does have a son called X.
Oh, that's what they changed it to, right? Because it was like
it's like
hieroglyphics
X.
for a minute.
Yeah.
This is the Grimes baby.
The Grimes
Yeah,
baby.
the Grimes
Correct.
baby.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
I love calling him that the Grimes, baby.
No, I'm just trying to make sure I'm
It
following
sounds like
along.
Dobby, a house elf or something crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, the other one was that his drive for validation and for people to accept him has him buy the hair plugs like Remy from Ratatouille. That was the other one.
Yeah.
That one hit different
Yeah.
in my home.
Yeah.
Another
Yes.
thing a loving person would say.
Yeah, you're really, really driving that point home. I'm really feeling it, feeling the love.
Yeah. And I think that the third one, oh my God, I remember there were 3 of them. I can't even remember what the third one is. It just sort of like melts into the whole thing at this point. But yeah, it was just me just being like, yes, I'm a bitter, toxic person. That is what
Yeah.
X turned me into. And now
Yeah.
I get to use those gifts and skills to sort of like make a knock against it.
Totally.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
mean, we have such a tethered relationship, a fraught relationship actually to social media. And I felt that a lot in this essay. So we resonated really easily and really quickly with what you were writing. What was the general response to your essay so far?
I was shocked. It was very positive. I only got like right at the beginning, I got a kind of crazy email saying like, "Oh, you wish idiot," like something like that. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm expecting some blowback because like Elon fans, they're sort of sycophants because they have to be.
Yeah.
There's nothing genuine to hold on to there. Like this person is a charlatan, and the
Mhm.
people who have bought into his shtick will defend it as a sort of like sunk cost fallacy of it all. But mostly, it was very positive, and I think it's just because I was able to honestly say like, listen, I'm not better than you. I was
Mhm.
also like hooked on this thing,
Mhm.
and I was like, yeah, kind of a bully, and I was also bullied, and I was mean, but people were mean to me. And I think that that's the experience of trying to figure out who you are on social media. It's not like you're a totally good person or totally bad person, but the whole thing is kind of toxic.
Yeah.
at the end of
No,
the
and I
day.
think one thing about your essay that I really liked, as much as it is funny about you like making all these mean, well, true observations about Elon Musk,
Yeah.
I think one of them was that he does stuff that is like not even, it's so of the culture of like people, like 13-year-old boys saying like slurs on like Halo.
Thank you, that was the
live,
other one.
live
Thank you,
streams.
we got
You can
there.
tell I've never played a video game. But like that was very funny. But that you understand how Elon wanted to like make, like kind of tame Twitter, like make Twitter
Mhm.
bend to his will
Mhm.
to get the approval of people who obviously hated him. And that's like a very Twitter, like very online sensibility to want to win someone over.
Mhm.
But of course on Twitter, you can't win anyone over. Like there's always gonna be
No,
someone
no.
who's gonna be like, let's do it, mama, I know the law. There's always gonna be that. There's always gonna be that.
There will always be some creature from Barb Twitter that's better at Twitter than you.
Yes.
And you are
and
never...
they're 16 years old.
Exactly.
Someone in
Yeah.
algebra tweeting like, okay, troglodyte. And it's
Right,
like, wait,
like-
what?
They will call you something that the English language has like not been built to accommodate, and you will have to read it and be like, that's genius, and I'm over now, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's what's so scary
Yeah,
about that
yeah.
website. They were just molded in it. Like, what do you do?
Katie Katz literally tweeted my old address, and it's like, Oh, simply sorry.
No,
yeah,
literally.
I had to just close the doors and say,
Wait,
And
wait,
thank
wait.
God you
Look, I'm
moved.
private now.
Yeah.
What fan base are y'all most terrified of on the internet?
Absolutely Barbs.
Barbs.
Yeah, right?
I don't
Yeah.
even want to say
They've got
their
guns.
name to. It's like
Yeah,
Candyman.
yeah.
It's like
we like cover our mics when we
It's kind of not close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
not close at all. But Selenators, they've been kind of dormant, docile. They've been watching Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah, what do they have to
They've
do?
been,
What do they have to
they've been
fight
relaxed. They've been trying to find the murder in the building.
That's
Season
for? And it's
4.
Benny Blanco. And like, no,
Oof.
they're too busy dealing with that plight to be fighting with people
Yeah,
on Twitter.
like the well-fed fandoms are less cranky.
Yeah.
It's the ones that are starving.
Yes.
that they're just willing to like really attack you.
With that Katy Perry. And I've been them. That's how I was so hurt by being
Right.
victimized by them, because I've been them.
Right.
Okay, I want to ask about the moment that you were like, okay, Twitter is over for me. Because there was a tweet with Arby's involved, and I want to hear about
Oh
it.
my God. Okay, so the Arby's was really the icing on the cake. I would say it was over for me when I got hacked, because it wasn't the fact that I got hacked. It was more the fact that like no one in that skeleton crew over at X could help me.
Yeah.
And it was like the person who hacked me got a hold of my number and was WhatsApp messaging me, because clearly it's not like a United States citizen. This is someone in Russia or something.
Uh-huh.
And they were like threatening me, saying, give me $2,000 for your account back.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, or I will expose your secret. And I'm kind of curious what my secret is. Like, what do you mean? And he was like, do your friends and family know that you're gay? And I was like, oh no.
Got me.
Yeah, so I think I said, hey, knock yourself out, like, have a field day.
Yeah.
He was trying to sell laptops, and when I finally got the account back, I saw he was very bad at selling laptops. Like, he would get people to the point of sale even, and like there would just be a lack of communication at the end, and he never like completed it. So
No follow through.
no, a bad troll. My favorite thing though was that someone in the DMs was like, oh, you misused the word your instead of your. That's not a very writerly thing to do, John Paul Brammer. And he said something like, this is X, not a classroom sweetheart. And I was like, he was getting into character.
Wait, he was.
Just
No, he
a
like
little
bent his
bit.
wrist and said, let's get to work. Yeah.
Like the sweetheart, I was like, oh, he's getting sassy. He
Yeah.
was like, I am a gay man in Brooklyn. Let me have a little fun with it.
A little
Oh my
razzle
God.
dazzle.
Yeah. And it took me like a week and some change to get that account back.
Yeah.
And I was messaging like the X help desk, like, hey, I'm being like extorted.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
someone is like asking for money for my account back. It was like me, Bette Midler, and some other guy with like a huge podcast. And so we were all three of us. When I logged back in, we were all three being tagged for like the same scam. So,
So
Bette Midler.
beautiful trio of people for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, great group.
I'm waiting for like the person at the help desk to be like, you're being sorted. Bitch, me too. The fuck?
Yeah,
Do you see my new boss?
yeah.
Like,
Have you seen my house? Yeah,
Right.
it's on fire.
But like, obviously, this is a time when Elon's political aspirations were really ascendant, and so
Mhm.
it kind of like made me tie those things together. Like, oh, I have tangible proof here that he's made a worse product. That
Mhm.
like this thing is falling apart.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the infrastructure to help people who are really having trouble with it. He's gonna do that to the government.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like when he gets a position of power to affect things beyond Twitter, and also just that like bitterness of seeing behind the curtain of like, I've been told all my life this man is a genius, that this man is brilliant,
Yeah.
that like he's in all these different cartoons and TV
Iron
shows
Man,
and
yeah.
Iron Man 2 and shit like that. And like, yeah, he's like a really, really smart guy. And yet this app that I've been using for most of my natural life, I am well attuned to how well that thing is working.
Yeah.
Like I know if something's working or it's not. And so I was very bitter to experience firsthand that this man doesn't know what he's doing, despite this media campaign to get me to believe otherwise. And it's like, you're lying to
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
And so logging into that app and just being confronted with so many of its posts and so much propaganda about him, I was just like, no, I am annoyed.
Yeah.
I can't go back. I'm just too annoyed with him to
Mhm.
be on there.
How much do you think you blame, or would you blame Jack Dorsey
Yes.
for selling Twitter to the world's worst billionaire?
I'm glad you said something because I've been thinking about this for a while.
Yeah.
Like I know that Jack is like too high on ayahuasca or whatever to like deal with like the earthly
Same.
plane at the moment, but it's like I remember when that sale went through and he says something like, well, at least Twitter is going into the capable hands of Elon Musk or whatever. And it's just like, I would call anyone capable if they were offering me like $1 bajillion for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
If someone offered me 44 billion, oh, I would do more for less. Like,
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah,
But the
yeah.
thing that bugs me about this whole thing, both with him and Elon, is the hypocrisy of it all. Like, if he was just nakedly like, look, it was a sale and
Mhm.
I'm making a lot of money off this, but
Yeah.
like, both these people are so constantly like, it's the town square. I think that Jack says, I almost call him Joey. I think Joey said something about like, oh, it's like the light in the dark that really like brings conversation.
Like
I
the
don't remember.
self-righteousness
Yeah.
of it all.
Yeah,
It's
like-
so like insulting.
Yes. Like if you truly think that you've got this product that is good for humanity,
Mhm.
you can't just play fast and loose with it towards your political ambitions, towards making a quick dollar off of it. Like,
Right.
no,
Yeah.
either be honest, you're playing the game and you're making a lot of money off of it, or you're using it to elect Donald Trump.
Or you're using it to go to the Rock Nation brunch.
right. Like, just be honest with me. Like, tell me what's really up. Like, don't pretend that it's something it's not.
Yeah.
That really bugs me.
I want to talk about Hall of Fame nights on Twitter, or like
Oof.
good Twitter memories, because listen, I live and die by JP Brammer. Maybe so. That's so your signature. I love it. I miss them. I miss them already.
I mean, that's the thing. Twitter had so many, like the night that Trump got COVID.
Yeah,
Oh, classic.
God. Herstory.
That was herstory for
you
sure.
know where you were.
Right. Yeah, we were talking about like the Olivia Nuzzi JFK or RFK thing.
Yes,
As
yes.
like the last breath of this is what Twitter used to be.
Yes, totally. And the bigger navy, but with an in,
Oh my God.
a classic.
I also-
Absolutely a classic.
I think that just the serotonin rush of a news event happening and opening Twitter first.
Mhm.
And like knowing that you're going to get a good old laugh there. Like trusting the space to give you exactly what you need, which is not more information, just fucking jokes. Like that's
Yes.
Any
Not
bad
anymore,
thing
but-
happens,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh God, I know Twitter's gonna have something to say about
Yeah.
this,
Absolutely.
and I can't wait. Okay, I have to be very solemn for a moment
yes.
and ask, what are you doing without Club Chalamet? She's like Twitter exclusive, not really, but almost.
There are certain figures on Twitter that I'm like, I will not feel complete with my online experience until I'm getting them in some form. Like
Yes.
there's
Yeah.
you, there's Club Chalamet,
Oh, thank you.
secret third person, I don't
Shut up,
know.
Twitter.
But like two titans for sure. Like two people who
and
aren't
also
like
Hunter, Club Chalamet. Have you ever seen them in the same room?
think
Could be-
about it.
I would like to see it.
It's giving the substance. It's giving the substance. I don't know. Think about that, actually.
Interesting.
What I love about Club Chalamet is like I don't see that much earnesty out of posters usually.
Mhm.
I've never met someone, and like it's an outcropping of mental illness for sure, but like it's very much like, wow, what a genuine adoration you have for Timothy. Like
It's not only. It's like defensiveness.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
is. It is like she's very strict with him.
mhm.
She doesn't just take everything. Kylie Jenner. She's not just gonna accept anything that he gives her.
What did she
Yeah.
call her? It was like the
Slurpee.
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 Yeah, and her reasoning for calling her Slurpee was so like kind of labyrinthine. It was just like because she is like high calorie, high sugar, low substance or whatever. And it's like, sure.
Okay, yeah, not no, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
Marry, fuck, kill,
Yes.
Blue Sky, Threads, X.
Ooh. Okay, I have some controversial. I'm killing Threads. Yeah, I'm killing Threads because I don't know what they're up to over there.
Whenever there was like a solid like 3 months when I would check Threads, and it would only be like, how do I get more engagement on Threads? That's the only conversation
Yeah.
that I saw, which was so weird.
Yeah.
Or so much earnesty in a way that I was like, this is actually, I'm scared here.
Yes.
Like I'm holding my purse a little tighter when I'm going
But
on Threads.
Now I'm holding my purse tighter in a different way, because the last conversation I saw on Threads was, should you serve drinks open bar at a wedding? And I was like,
Oh,
this raggedy, low down.
oh God, we're dealing with poor people are here. Oh,
It
God.
was just like, oh my, like this is just shocking. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
like, and Mark Zuckerberg's products just make me sad for him.
And his whole
for
thing
us,
too, his
and
whole like cool guy
yeah,
rollout.
Very upsetting.
I like him as a husband though. Sorry. Skip past that.
You want to be a billionaire's wife so bad.
Yes. And if you're watching, I do.
I can see that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks.
It's in the
derogatory,
it's in
but
the
I'll
tea
take it.
leaves.
Thank
Yes.
you. Fuck you both. Okay. Marry,
Um,
fuck, kill. Good.
I do see myself as fucking ex, like a toxic ex that I have
Mm.
like occasional hookups with, you know, because like
Mm.
sometimes when I need the hard stuff and Blue Sky is just a little too 2012 Tumblr for me, like
Mm.
I will log into X and just see like, okay, what are the girls saying? Because like the truly deranged people are still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is my native habitat. It's where I should be.
Yes.
So when I
yes.
want to see like some truly crazy posting, I have nowhere else to turn.
Yeah.
I
That's
would
true.
say. And you know, Blue Sky is just like my friend who I feel I should marry because they're
Yeah.
good to me. You know,
He treats me right.
He
You know?
does. He's
He's
very
a good man.
nice. He's a good, upstanding man. Yeah. I'll settle. Yeah.
Wow. Well, JP, thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
This was so fun. And where can people find you?
Blue Sky. I'm JP Brammer. Most places. Substack. I'm Ola Poppy. And yes, hope to see you on either one of those.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
In my humble and correct opinion, Thanksgiving is the worst holiday. It's only one day. It's expensive. It's overhyped. It's more expensive to travel during Thanksgiving than it is for Christmas. Don't know why. I don't know, genocide of it all. But yet, here we are every year. Hunter's looking at me sideways. I don't give a fuck. What? Speak your truth, sister.
First of all, you're telling me about genocide. You don't even know Rome was like a conquering nation.
That
Conquering
was because I was
empire. Not
distracted
even
by
20
my hot
minutes ago.
teacher in high school.
Oh, Lord.
I was too
have
busy being
mercy.
a lover
Oh, Lord. Have
to focus on history.
Here we go. Well, let me tell you this. I love Thanksgiving. I love it. There's no pressure on Thanksgiving. I'm the baby of the family, so I don't have to do any cooking.
Baby of the family, you are an only child.
I don't have to do any cooking. All I have to do is just, help clean up a little bit, put away some dishes, and, sit up and watch TV. Perfect. Perfect holiday. No gifts, no pressure of gifts, no having to pack gifts, think about gifts, pick out gifts, order gifts, put them under a tree. None of that. There's none of that. Thanksgiving is a time for you to just go over to your aunt's house, eat some food, and go crazy.
Okay, Denzel.
And play games.
Put on
and
this
play
dress.
Uno, and then listen to some music videos.
Uno?
And then it becomes music video o'clock.
Okay,
And
gay.
then you get into a fight with someone over Beyonce, and whose side are you on? Who knows? Won't say it here. And then what else? Easy. And then someone does something that's like kind of like, who did you vote for? But it's Thanksgiving. So you argue about it at the table.
Yeah. So you bring it up even
bring
one
it
more
up,
time.
right? So you said, say that one more time.
So I'm just gonna circle back. Yeah. A real bitch circles back on a problematic statement from their parents.
Yes. No. If it were any other dinner, I'd be like, whatever, let's just get through this meal. Thanksgiving,
No, we talking
let's
about
actually go around robin. Let's see what everyone thinks right now. I love Thanksgiving. Are you kidding? Oh, little outfits on Thanksgiving. You like yes, you gotta put on a little outfit for Thanksgiving.
This
it's
is
like a
little...
nice dinner at home. It's like it's used to dress up just a little bit.
Were you paid by King Princess, the heiress to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade looking ass? And wait, I have to say something. I don't know why, Hunter, but you give me the energy of someone who doesn't know how to fully clean a plate. You just know how to put it in the dishwasher.
That's absolutely not true. And how dare you? Dare you say that to me? I rinse plates too much. I rinse plates in a way that is concerning to the environment.
Greta Gerwig is called Greta Thunberg is like, Hunter, stop.
She's trying the water off. I turn it back on. No.
I don't know. I had to get it off my chest. I had to say that.
No. I love playing the fridge Tetris. I love getting the leftovers. Like, when you finish eating, and then you you can do a little bit more, and then you kind of heat up just like a side.
Not Uno though. Sorry, I'm still stuck on that. That's the worst game.
Oh, that's your biracial side coming out.
Oh, you're like, what? You want to play Monopoly? You want to sit here for hours?
Yeah. What do you want to do?
Spend money?
We were like, whose line is it anyway? What is it called? Oh, my gestures. Oh my god, I love gestures.
I don't know that one actually.
It's like taboo, kind of. Or it's like pantomiming. It's acting. I don't know if you know. I know you're from LA, but I know acting. I'm an actress, so yeah.
Wow.
No, it's good. I love it. I love Thanksgiving so much. So you hate it so much because why?
Actually, I don't really like.
Yeah,
sorry,
right.
I'm just such an activist.
Big Christmas has taught you to hate Thanksgiving.
Capitalist Christmas has an iron grip on
and it's because you can't buy anything on Thanksgiving. That's why you don't like it as much.
Kwanzaa. So that's just me. That's just how I roll. Actually, my family and I, we celebrated Kwanzaa literally for 2 years, and my mom was like, that's enough. No more fucking original Peyton Dix originals. No more fucking bracelets. No more fucking little what are those beads you put on a thing and then iron?
Oh, Eras Tour.
No, but Kwanzaa got canceled quick in my house. But Thanksgiving just always felt like this weird interim to Christmas. And also just a random holiday. People just wanted to.
I don't understand. You don't even love the
pilgrims.
Lord. You don't even go to church.
Well, maybe I do.
No, because you know what? This is how I know
Maybe
you
I
don't. No,
did
this is how I know you didn't
once.
go to church. Because at your dad's comedy show, he was telling people to get up and like he's like, oh, in a Baptist church, no one even has to tell you to stand up. You stand up when someone comes to the row. You stand up and let them pass and let them like scoot through you. And you said you're looking around. I said I was giggling because I knew what that joke was. He said in a Baptist church, there's none of this.
I wasn't paying attention. I was too distracted by my hot reverend. Priest?
What?
Who's the person that leads the church? It doesn't matter.
Look at your
I
cards.
don't like Thanksgiving,
Say
but I do like
no.
I like traditions. Traditions feel good to me in all senses. And I have a new family tradition where my mom and brother come visit me in New York. And I start crying. it's mostly fun. No, but it's actually really, really nice. My mom's bringing Dodger, her dog, this year. And I'm like,
cute.
I do set time limits. I set days for them to be out of my house. I said, I don't care where you go, but you got to get the fuck up out of here. I need 1 day of peace. And I let them both stay with me. It's a tall order.
Your house is
But it's
kind of
really nice.
like on the market. Like your house is kind of open for business. Everyone stays at your house.
I know. I need to start closing doors or I need to start charging people. This is actually fucking crazy. I'm like, I just paid for all the groceries and you guys are staying here. And also they're like requesting like extra things for me to grab. I'm like, okay, this is
That's
not
being a good
Airbnb.
host. That's being a good host. So who's gonna do the cooking? Are you gonna do the cooking? Or are you gonna like go out on Thanksgiving?
No. We're going to cook at mine. That's what we did
Okay.
last year too. My brother makes mac and cheese. My mom makes like Cornish hens, greens. I'll do the like, I'm making this weird like cranberry tart thing that I think is going to be terrible. And then twice baked potatoes.
Ooh,
And maybe
love
some
twice baked
yams.
potatoes.
We'll see.
I love twice baked potatoes.
Okay, come over, get a plate.
I will.
You'll
I don't
fly
know.
back.
I don't like Cornish hens though. I've never
Do
been
you?
into
Oh
Cornish
wait,
hens.
I almost asked, do you cook? And then I didn't even need you.
Yes, that's not. No, yes, I make twice baked potatoes. I make twice baked potatoes, and I make mac and cheese. Like, I can make those things on
You can make mac
Thanksgiving.
and
I
cheese?
don't work.
You can make mac and cheese.
Yes, I can make mac and cheese,
All right, prove it.
and I love corn. I love corn on the cob.
Wrap it up. You're not just naming things you like, not things you cook. Oh my god. All right, well, I'm gonna try your fucking mac and cheese and we'll report back here. Well, that's it for this week. As usual, we are 2 online, so you don't have to be.
You know, I need Stephen A. Smith, me, and Denzel in a room, and we'll call it the Loudmouth Convention. Pretty good.
This is pretty good,
Pretty
actually.
good.
I would
Pretty
tune into that. And I just have one thing to say. Fuck you, Elon Musk. Fuck you.
But Thanksgiving, I have to watch iconic Gossip Girl Thanksgiving episodes, starting with Blair Waldorf must pie.
Ugh,
I'm so excited. Are you kidding?
no,
Okay.
I love tradition. I love that tradition for you.
Let me say this.